Runescape's evolved a lot over the years, bringing with it many unique styles of playing. One of the most popular styles is the officially supported Iron Man game mode, alongside the hardcore Iron Man variant. But at first glance, doesn't it seem like these two game modes defeat the point? Because in a game where trading with others to acquire the best gear, and playing alongside your fellow players is the whole point, you stand alone, left to fend for yourself, and unable to receive help from other players. And in a game where dying almost feels like it's inevitable, you swear into a pact, the terms of which forbid death, and breaking this pact by dying is the end of the game mode. But hardcore Iron Men have an incredibly potent ace in the hole. The Sign of Life, an item that protects its user and, upon their death, revives them on the spot, allowing them to escape death's embrace for just a little bit longer. As a high-risk hardcore Iron Man, I will not have access to the Sign of Life. A single mistake of any kind is completely fatal. Additionally, I will face a ban on Necromancy and restrictions on worn items obtained through safe means, such as Crypt Bloom and the Inquisitor staff. Welcome to my high-risk hardcore Iron Man. Before we jump into the account, allow me to explain the rules and restrictions in a little bit more detail. First and most straightforward, the Sign of Life and any item that shares its effects are completely off limits. This is a pretty easy thing to track via the achievement tab, and I'll show this every now and then. Second, Necromancy is also off limits, but with an exception. I can use Necromancy for the purpose of completing a quest or event, such as the Halloween event, if Necromancy is absolutely required to complete it. However, outside of this, I'm not allowed to train, use, or otherwise benefit from any of Necromancy's effects. And lastly, I'm only allowed to wear items that are considered risky items. Risky items are items that are acquired either through combat in an area where death is considered unsafe, or if it's acquired through some other means, then there must be some chance of losing the hardcore status. For example, Crypt Bloom is not risky because dying at Croesus is considered by the game itself to be a safe death. The Inquisitor staff is not risky because it is obtained solely through archaeology, with no threat posed anywhere in the crafting process. If you want all the details regarding this rule, such as items bought from shops, crafting items, and exceptions, then there's an in-depth explanation in the video description. Welcome to the series. I'd like to lay out a couple goals of the account real quickly. First, the major long-term goal of this account is to acquire the Warden title from Telos, which requires killing him at 500% in rage. I'll talk about this a lot more in detail as the series progresses, but that's a long way down the road. Second, I've set a few very short-term goals for the account to showcase how the rules and restrictions of the account actually pan out in gameplay. Number 1, with the rules and restrictions that my account has, acquire a weapon that I'm allowed to wield. Number 2, acquire a piece of jewelry that I'm allowed to wear. And finally, number 3, complete a clue scroll that has an emote clue, which requires me to wear specific gear. And without further ado, let's begin. Before we do anything else, we're just gonna zoom across the map real quickly so that we can grab something important from the Archaeology Guild. The reward for the Archaeology tutorial is excellent for starter accounts, offering a 500 life point bonus. So I got to digging, restored some dusty old sword I found, and traded it in for the Mortal Cup, the relic that will boost our starting hit points from a rather uncomfortable 1000 to a still pretty measly 1500, but, you know. And just like that, we have 1500 health. After fully completing the archaeology tutorial, the next thing I needed to do was get a bit of food to prepare for what was about to come next. Squiggles? I have escaped? What? jug of wine for... Oh, that's so expensive. Maybe I can steal from the wine stall? Aw. Right. I will get right on that. Anyways, back to where we were before, stealing from people. Oh. What about you? What about you? Level 2. I could use the money. I had somehow managed to do 11 pickpockets in a row, level 1. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Because I haven't. But with that out of the way, it was finally time to start acquiring some food. Out looking for a bargain, huh? What? After taking all the food that I needed, it was time for me to leave Lumbridge and start heading north. Ooh, the Grand Exchange. Ooh. I made my way to the Wilderness Wall, enabled PvP, and began my descents into the wilderness. Now, I'm sure you're wondering what the wilderness has to offer a lowly newbie such as myself. My knowledge of the wilderness since the PvP rework a while back was rather shallow. However, with the restrictions my account has on worn equipment, it could be a way for me to acquire my first weapon. That being said, I'd be lying to you if I said the thrill of it alone wasn't good enough reason for me. But I did just spend 100-something mil to give the account membership, and I'd be a little rustled if I lost that after only a few minutes. And the wilderness does have quite a few dangers just waiting to claim my hardcore status. Should I really be out here without a teleport of any kind? I started scavenging any loot I could find. Didn't matter what it was, if it was there, it was mine now, and it would make a fine addition to my bank. That makes me a bit nervous. Take all of these items. What? What? I think these guys are, non-aggressive, since I am Skulled. Still, just makes me feel sick. Coming in here. Non-aggressive, cool. Oh, this is where the blue dragons hide. Dark Beast? Ooh, that's much worse than a blue dragon. In hindsight, I realize that this is not even remotely true, as any dragon is one of the worst things to run into for somebody without anti-fire protection. Is there anywhere here I can squeeze by? No. You know, if I get caught, I'll have Surge. I am, definitely auto-dead. These are definitely aggressive, aren't they? The wilderness are just filled with stuff that absolutely annihilate anyone who's a lower level. Never know, you'll need a chaos rune or two. Oh, that does remind me, I should go pay the Black Warrior's Fortress a visit. That stings just a little bit. Oh, please don't make that noise. It's horrible. At this point, I was starting to realize just how terrible the loot here was, even for a fresh account. But I pressed on and started to head east. I want that steel dagger. Oh, and a crossbow. I could use the obelisk, but the obelisk would have like a 25% chance of one-shotting me. Right, I'll take one hit. I no longer... I wanted to grab those steel plate legs, but that appears to be a complete death sentence. Or is it? If the gargoyles are melee, then I could rush in there and grab one. Okay, let's grab it. Quickly, quickly, quickly. No. What's the max hit? Max hit is 1080. So it won't kill me in one hit. But it could very, very easily combo me out. Okay. I should be able to squeeze past right here.
It's an urban legend that never happened.
No. This is bad. This is dumb. This is so dumb. I was trying to find a safe way north, but everywhere just seemed like it was certain death. There's just this impassable wall of monsters that makes up the wilderness now. Oh, what? This is one of the Slayer mobs I fear the most. Only slightly behind Ripper demons. And the Glaciers could easily two-shot me, even through food, so this way was a bust as well. So for the time being, I decided to make my way out of the wilderness and back to Edgeville. Killing him for good luck. 12% hit chance. This is going to be a reoccurring theme, as you'll see soon. Since my plan of simply picking up free stuff off the ground didn't pan out, I needed a little more cash so I could buy better food and some miscellaneous supplies. I paid the Stronghold of Security a visit, which would be a fast and easy 10k. Okay, these aren't aggressive. These might actually pose a threat. No, none aggressive. After getting my money, I went back to the wilderness through the Edgeville lever. Am I allowed to pick this up? Oh, yep, aggressive. Goodbye, money. And so we went on a very, very long spending spree.
This is a journey into money. Loads of money. Arnhem. It's loads of money. LODSOVEMONE. What's they spell?
I'm out of money. These sardines actually restock extremely quickly. I'll stay here and get a few cooking levels. What? You can burn the meat while you're trying to make sinew? I'm gonna come back for you, mugger, one of these days. I will make you pay dearly. I'll mine a couple of tin and copper while I'm over here. Ooh. Can I do this? The circus gave me a few levels in my agility, ranged, and magic skills, but it didn't really solve the issue of me not having a weapon yet. I have access to Surge now. I did a quick mini-quest, Sheep Shearer, to replenish my cash a bit.
Loads of money!
Which I promptly spent on more random items. But, at the Void Knight outpost, I made an interesting discovery. Oh? This heals 500? Even at my HP level? These food rations heal for 500, seemingly ignoring the 200 HP cap that most other foods would give for someone of my constitution level. And finally, my item hoarding heist had come to an end. It was finally time for me to get to business and complete the first short-term goal I'd set for my account. Acquire a weapon that I can wield, given my restrictions. So I need to be able to... from some kind of monster drop, I need to get some weapon I can use. But what around here would drop anything I can use? If it drops crafting materials, that could work too. Stone spirits, maybe? If I could actually kill an imp, but the imp I tried to kill earlier did not work out. Here we are. Should be able to kill a couple of these. Never mind. I needed something I could kill, even if it was just for a bit of XP. At least then I could get a level or two to kill something that actually drops a weapon. Surely you give XP, right? Nothing. Maybe if I go into legacy mode? Is there nothing in this game that you can just kill by punching? Even the cows are strong. Surely, a chicken? Nah, 16%? One level. Might just be enough. 20%, is that enough? It's looking like a no. I was getting a little bit flustered at this point, and then I realized what was happening. Earlier this year, Jagex reworked hit chance to be a direct multiplier of your damage, rather than an RNG-based miss or hit. Under normal circumstances, this wouldn't really change the average damage of your attacks in the long run. But the issue for me is that my average damage, after my terrible accuracy multiplier, is somewhere between 0 and 1 every hit. And in Runescape, your damage always rounds down to the nearest value. So before the rework, I could spend a while punching stuff, missing most times, but every now and then I would succeed and finally hit. Now though, even though I technically hit every hit, because my damage after the new calculations is something like 0.7, which rounds down to 0, I literally can't deal damage. So the plan was use food or potions to boost my attack and strength enough to allow me to deal damage. There are many beginner quests that I can do to just get my stats up, allow me to punch a few things to death, but I'm going to see if I can figure something out first. In other words, I was going to continue being stubborn and attempting brute force, rather than just doing a 2-minute quest to get it over with. I can't cast spells without a magic weapon, presumably. Cast. Nope, that's not how this works. Oh, wait. Wait, that actually cast it though. I swear, I cast a spell on that rabbit just a second ago. Because I only have 9 air runes now. How did I do that earlier? I don't understand. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the recording for just a moment and try to find out what on earth I did to make that work. It's fun to stay at the Oh, it's that easy, huh? Is there any mob in this game I am able to kill? I think a level 1 rat, maybe? No. That's because rats aren't weak to melee, they're weak to earth. Which I guess makes sense. And so I went back to the wilderness looking for a solution. If I can find an item spawn out here, that could work. As long as it's in a dangerous enough spot. An iron dagger? Can I wield this? No, need level 10. Okay, I have a really bad idea. But there is a Staff of Earth in the lava maze. I was really hoping the lava maze would be an absolute last resort to go into. for obvious reasons. The thing that makes me worried about this Staff of Earth is that I know Ripper Demons can teleport across the lava gaps here. So even if I successfully get through the Hellhounds, oh? What? I want that penguin. Ooh, that's... not what I want to see. We will be switching worlds. So now I just need to think. These Hellhounds can kill me in easily 2 hits. There's no chance I'm making it through all of that without getting hit many times. I was pessimistic about making it through the lava maze alive, and I kept running into people while hopping. My nerves got the best of me, so I left the wilderness. Baby Spider, weak to crush. Could this be it? 22% accuracy though. Still only able to hit 0s. Since I couldn't make strength potions, I bought an Asgardian Ale, which could boost my strength by a few levels. Okay, I have a plan. We need to get some tea. The tea actually boosts my attack a little bit further than what my attack potion was able to do. I visited the Gnome Stronghold to try my luck at some of their drinks, but it turned out that they didn't boost my strength any better than the ale that I bought in Falador. So I tried a barrel of beer, but it was just the same as the Asgardian Ale, but more expensive. I think the issue is my base damage is only 2. If I get my strength up a few levels, that'll put up to 6, which means that I should be able to hit a 1 eventually, if the thing I'm fighting has at least 16% hit chance. Alrighty, let's give this a shot. Let's log in and out to receive the stat timer. Drink for +2 strength. Drink a little bit of tea. Log out again to reset. I'm going to hope I can do any damage, period. I finally dealt damage. There were a few issues, like my stats draining mid-kill, and the raptor kept jacking my kills, and I didn't really want to take any useful loot I got if he assisted me with the kill. But it was possible. So I stocked up on ale, since I would need a lot of it for even a few kills. 0% accuracy? Oh no. Yeah, the ale alone wasn't good enough. I also needed something to restore and boost my attack level in order for me to actually deal damage. So I stocked up on tea. Though I skipped out on fighting trolls this time because I didn't want to deal with a raptor stealing my kills. Also, they don't actually drop any weapons, so I went to Lumbridge instead. Oh, a charge bow. Oh, I have a weapon finally. Oh, a weapon that actually does damage. It took me about 4 hours to get to this point, but at last I have a weapon I can use. And from this point forward, it'll be smooth sailing.